Okay, so Max, just to start off, first of all, congratulations on qualifying for the US Open again. This is your fourth straight US Open. Just walk me through that moment. I feel like you've become, Mr. Springfield because that's just kind of been the place where you've qualified every time. What has the feeling been like when you qualified for the fourth straight time?
It was an awesome feeling. I qualified in 2022, which that being the first one was obviously really amazing. And then the last 2 years, I was actually an alternate, and ended up getting into the field during the U.S. Open week. So I didn't quite have the exhilarating feeling when I finished up at Springfield because you're kind of in that position. You don't know if you're going to get in or not. But very thankful I was able to get into both of those. And then this year, my caddy and I kind of told ourselves like we don't want to be in an alternate playoff again. Like we want to get in clean and made a really good par on the last three holes to be safely in without a playoff. And yeah, just a cool feeling. I mean, it's been uh, since I turned pro to start last summer. I've had quite a bit of struggles and missed cuts on the number, and definitely a lot of disappointing moments. But this year's been really good. I had a win in Brazil a couple of months ago, and then getting this done on Monday and getting into another U.S. Open. It's all been really cool, and glory to God. It's been great.
Yeah, Max, talk about kind of what this year has been like for you. You not only, won that Brazil Open, but the way you did it was just incredible. Walk me through kind of what's maybe been working right for you this year and kind of what credit do you give that to?
Yeah, yeah. Last year I finished up Q school. I missed that second stage, so I didn't get any sort of Corn Ferry status. I just had a kind of a few heart to hearts with my wife and my family and my caddy, and just a lot of people in my corner advised me maybe a decent idea to start working with a mental coach, something I hadn't done before, and I started that last fall, and the fruits have been incredible. I mean, we've if you'd have told me 6, 7 months ago that I would feel and be as confident on the golf course as I am right now, I really wouldn't have believed it. So it's been kind of a full 180 in terms of how I think out there, and I'm seeing targets rather than seeing trouble, and just little things like that that have made a huge difference for me this year. And then I started the year playing really good golf. I played a lot of Monday qualifiers and ended up missing by one shot or two shots, but those are so hard to get through. And I knew that I was playing really good golf. I had a friend of mine tell me earlier in the year that you can't hide good golf. So I figured eventually if I keep, doing the work and playing well, and eventually something good was going to happen. And the last few months, a lot of good things have happened. And my faith, I have to credit my faith a lot for that. I'm a big believer in Jesus, and he's given me a lot of peace this year. And I'm not really struggling out there worrying about results, but just really at peace with whatever God's plan is.
With kind of that shift in mindset this year, how much more confident are you going into the US Open and heading into Oakmont this year?
I'm very confident. I would say this is the most confident I felt entering a U.S. Open. I played really good my junior year, so going into 2023 at LA Country Club, I did feel pretty good. But that was a year I got in as an alternate, so kind of the weeks leading up, you're not necessarily preparing whether you're going to be there or not. But this year, I definitely feel as good as I have for an Open. But I know it's a different animal. It's the hardest test of golf that there is in any level of golf. So I'm just excited to go out there and try and play as good as I can and see where that leaves me.
And Max, how exciting is it for you that Oakmont's not that far away from your hometown? Like, are you expecting a lot of your family to go? Kind of how much more comforting is that knowing that you're really close to home?
It's cool. Yeah. The previous three U.S. Opens have all been a good bit of ways from home. So it's cool to have this one close. And yeah, I've had a lot of people text and reach out. And unfortunately, they only give you so many tickets that you can give out to people. But yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of people get to come over and watch. Only about 2 hours away. So it's going to be cool to see some familiar faces in the crowd. And yeah, I'm trying to make it feel as comfortable as I can. And a lot of people being there will definitely help with that.
And Max, I know you know this, but there are a long list of professional golfers who are Buckeyes. How does it feel to kind of be a part of that group and represent them so well?
It's cool. The Buckeye Golf family is definitely something that you take a lot of pride being part of. And it's been cool to see the last few years. Bo Hoag's played well out on tour. Ryan Armour's played well. Neil Shipley's obviously played incredible the last 2 years or so. So it's just cool to be among a great group of guys. And, obviously the arguably best player ever went to Ohio State and Jack. So I think we all kind of look to Jack and try to follow his footsteps as best we can. But yeah, it's cool to represent Ohio State. I really love my 4 years there and I miss it every day. So yeah.
Okay, I have to know because I saw it. Was your wife your caddy at the Brazil Open?
Yeah, yeah. So on PGA Tour Americas, thankfully she works remote, so she's able to travel with me, and then caddy kind of around meetings, and usually only the weekend. But if she can, squeeze it in, she tries to caddy for me. It definitely saves us some money, and it's cool to have her out there. It definitely makes me feel more comfortable.
That is awesome. That's so cool. And Max, just kind of a couple final questions for you. In terms of your mindset shift and the fact that you got your first, pro event win, with this, the ball is rolling in the right direction for you, it feels like.
Yep.
Obviously, you want to win, right? That's the ultimate goal. But how will you leave Oakmont feeling satisfied after it's all said and done?
That's a good question. I think the last few years I've kind of went in with different expectations. Like the first time I was just there, I wanted to soak it in, enjoy it. And then at LA, my goal was to make the cut, improve on the previous year, and I was able to do that. And then last year, I was hoping to improve upon the made cut and find myself in contention. Unfortunately, I didn't have a great week. But this year, I'm kind of just going in with an open mind. I mean, it's everybody starts at even par, and my job is to just do the best that I can to play my game and commit to every shot and not really pay attention to leaderboards too much, but just try to hit as many good shots as I can and see where that leaves me. But I think I'll definitely leave Oakmont satisfied if I can kind of just do what I said is commit to every shot. And, I can't control where the ball goes, but I can control my preparation and my mindset. And if I do all those things well, then I'll be able to live with whatever the result is.
And the fact that you do have, four straight US Open appearances, whether that's as an alternate or qualifying, how is that such a advantage maybe for you? Kind of knowing how it works, knowing how to play on a big stage like that, knowing how to deal with the pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage. I'd say the last few years I've felt more and more comfortable in that scenario. And now having played pro golf for a year, and have played a few US Opens in the past, I think I'm not going to feel too nervous out there. I mean, I'm sure there'll be first tee jitters like there always is. But I'm definitely excited to, with this kind of new mindset and new mental game that I've really worked on, I'm excited to see how things go out in the biggest arena that you can really get to. So I'm looking forward to it and just going to try to have fun with my family and friends.
Now, Max, how old are you? Are you 23?
I am, yep.
Okay, so do you ever have, like, when you really think about it, four US Opens and you're only 23 years old, do you ever have like a pinch me moment that that's kind of your reality right now?
A little bit, yeah. I think my dad and my caddy the other day we were talking how many guys have qualified for 4 U.S. Opens by 23. I don't know the number. I don't really care the number, but I definitely know it's not a lot. So it's definitely cool to say I've been able to do that. But at the end of the day, my big goal is to get to the PGA Tour, and I hope this week's a step in that direction. So just gonna kind of keep my eyes forward and try and play as good as I can, and let everything else take care of itself.
Yeah, and Max, that was kind of my final question is, that's the ultimate goal, right? Getting to the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
How confident are you though, kind of feeling like everything is ultimately that one more step to that direction?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling good. I think I definitely had some discouraging moments last year about what pro golf might look like for me. But I'd say this year with winning on the Americas Tour and made a cut in a Corn Ferry event, just kind of knowing that when my game's in a good place, that I can kind of hang on at any level. So just the more exposure I can get to the Corn Ferry Tour and the PGA Tour, the more I'll feel comfortable. But yeah, I definitely believe in my ability to get there. And like I've said before, just ultimately trusting God's plan, whatever that is.